Okay, we're back. I have now completed doing the sky in through these portions right here, which is here and here on the painting. And now I'm going to do this portion over here. This is going to be fairly light, but I'm going to kind of do a wash over top of all these areas where the leaves are. Because the leaves are so dark, I can paint right over top of the wash as long as I keep it pretty light. So I'm going to wet the paper first. And you can see I'm just going over top of this entire area. And once again, I'm going to tip the board up because gravity is just a great tool for watercolors, which once again doesn't really work with acrylics or oils. And I'm going to get this area over here. Okay, get up to the edges. And by the way, I'm using this is a Creative Mark number 8 round paintbrush, and it's a synthetic brush, but it holds its point really, really well, and that's the reason why I like it. Synthetic brushes probably don't hold as much paint as red sables do, but their points last a lot longer, and that's why I like it so much. So here's my paint over here. I'm going to mix it up again because the paint has settled out, and I'm actually going to add some more water to it because I want this to be diluted. I don't want it to be as dark as on the original. Here's my little test. I think just maybe a little more water. Dilute it down. Okay, and here we go. It looks maybe just still a little bit too dark, so I'm going to add a little more water to the mix over there. But here I'm just going to kind of dilute it down just by adding a little more water right on the surface of the paper. Okay, and I'm tipping the paper, dragging the paint down, and I'm just going to add more clear water to the paint to dilute it, and I'm dragging it down. And across the paper. And the reason why I'm painting in this sky right over top of all these leaves is because if I try to come back and paint the sky in between these leaves, what happens is the green of the leaves bleeds into the sky portion. And I know this because I've tried it. Okay. And I still don't want it to be all the same. Some places can be a little bit darker, some can be a little lighter, which is just the way the sky really works. I'm using my new Ahsoka similar to GoPro sort of device in order to record this. Which so far has been working pretty great. It's kind of a learning curve, but And you always want to go back and kind of check your edges, make sure you got the paint all the way up to where it needs to be. Okay, great. And I'm just going to let that dry. I'm sort of tempted to make it a little bit darker right in there. Right in that one little section in here. Like the clouds came down into here. A little darker. Drying off my brush. Oh, there's my paper towel right there. And one thing is you don't want to mess with it too much. Watercolor is unlike, I guess that's sort of the bad point, you can't keep working it and working it because bad things will happen, which you'll discover if you keep trying to mess with the paint that's on the paper. Whereas with oils and acrylics, you could keep on working on it, but you sort of want to get it on and leave it alone. And even if there's a mistake in there, leave it and let the paper completely dry, because you can always come back with either clear water and go through it and even out some spots that didn't come out quite the way you wanted them to, or even add another wash onto it. Yeah, I just want to see, make sure I didn't miss any sky portions over here. Okay. Great. So the next section I want to work on is probably going to be something that's darker. Maybe over here, this area over here, this is foliage is in the background. And I want to make it faded so that it's not as dark even as what we see here, so that it pushes back like it's in the background. And I'm going to mix up some paint and wet this area and come back with another video. Okay, thanks.